In every community I visit, the same concerns keep coming up. Passengers talk about waiting in the heat for overcrowded buses. Rural communities say they feel cut off. Workers tell me they have no way home after late shifts. Parents worry about students struggling to get to school. These are not complaints about inconvenience. They are reminders that Grenada does not yet have a real transportation system. What we have today is a daily struggle for mobility that affects families, workers, students, and communities across the island. I've been listening to bus operators too, and I hear you. You are dealing with that heat box terminal in Grenville and paying $2.50 every time you enter the terminal in town. One driver told me his $3.50 gas rebate added up to just a few $100s for the entire month. The government has set up a 50% concession on parts like tires and batteries. But most operators can't take advantage of it. When you need tires, you need them now. You don't have the cash flow to order parts well in advance and keep them in stock. When you ask for fairness and practical solutions, you are too often treated like the problem instead of essential workers keeping Grenada moving. Both administrations have taken steps forward. The NNP-CDB study gave us the blueprint. The NDC's pilot programs show progress. But we keep starting over instead of building on what works. The CDB study identified everything we need: scheduled island-wide service, proper terminals with facilities for drivers, cashless fare systems, and fair compensation for operators. What Grenada has now is hundreds of private operators left to survive on their own. What Grenada needs is one coordinated, reliable system where government ensures operators are fairly paid and commuters get safe, affordable service. Bus operators want to be partners in solutions, not scapegoats for problems they did not create. Safety is not about blaming drivers or passengers. It is about fixing a broken system where operators are forced to race for fares while parents worry about children's safety. Every Grenadian deserves to travel with dignity and peace of mind. That is why we need a clear plan, immediate relief, deliver the promised subsidies quickly, and make basic fixes to terminals. Ventilation and water within months, not years. Make the parts concession program work by allowing operators to access discounts when they actually need parts, not just when they can afford to stockpile inventory. Medium-term change: expand the Spice Bus model to more schools and routes and roll out pilot schedules on the busiest corridors so passengers know they can get home safely, even at night. Long-term transformation: implement the full study, including scheduled service across the island, modernized terminals, digital payment, and eventually green buses. This could be funded by cutting wasteful spending, working with regional banks that have already invested in the study, and by directly compensating operators for off-peak and underserved routes. Transport should not divide us between those with cars and those depending on buses. It should not pit operators against passengers. When we build solutions that work for everyone, fair pay for drivers, safe, reliable service for passengers, free transport for students, we move forward together. First, we question why things are the way they are. Then we organize around practical solutions. Finally, we move forward together, creating the mobility Grenada needs.